Good morning, students. Let us revise our fourth lesson in English literature, the poem Courage, Courage, Courage. Today we are going to see the gist of this poem once again. Thereafter I will recite it for you. Then we will discuss the question answers and the book exercises and the word meanings. And so you will be able to learn it in a better way. Please learn everything so that any question comes as a multiple choice from within the book, within the lessons, or from the copy or book, you are able to write it. So we have the lesson Courage, 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 written by Edgar Albert Guest. This poem is that speaks about how to be courageous even when the going gets tough. Means life, there are so many difficulties. So as the life goes ahead, we find so much of problems in our daily life. So all of us face this, happy and trying times. But all matters is that how is our courage goes along with that. How we face with these challenges in our daily life. The poem is divided into 4 stanzas. It strengthens a person who is constantly facing or on the verge of facing a defeat. Now, poem tells a person who is at the verge of getting defeated, that person how he cope up with this type of situation. It says that defeat and victory are equally inevitable, but keeping one's moral high and taking things in one's stride is what matters. Means to say, having failures and success in our life is we cannot is inevitable. Means we cannot keep it aside and say, oh, only I will have a success all the time, or only I will have failures all the time. No, it becomes a part of our life. So that's what we have a good example about Malala. How she has overcome the difficulties, how she has faced. I have already explained this in a life in short, and I asked you to find out more about her life to just get impressed and encouraged by her life. I suppose you must have already read about her story and you are aware of it. Okay, all the same, we have the first page 30, we have the some information about Malala, but this is also important for us, even for the test, so please learn it. Malala was born in the Swat Valley of Dash. I have given you these answers, Pakistan. Malala was a blog writer for the BBC using the alias Gul Makai. No, that is a kind of alliance made. No, she was used to write for the BBC. BBC, you know that, British broadcast. She was shot and received severe wounds on her way back from school. So as she was going back from the school, she was on the van and she got the somebody shot her. She received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. Malala shared in the Nobel Peace Prize with the Kailash Satyarthi. So this is a person who shared along with her Malala this same Nobel Peace Prize in that same year. So we have this poem here. I'll just read it. It's 4 stanzas, but I will be reading only 2 for you. The first page 31. The beginning of this poem you will find as the title of this poem suggests, the poet urges us to be strong and brave. He tells us that even in difficult times, when things do not go our way, we should call on the courage that lies within us. So according to the poet, the courage lies within us. We have to wake it up so that we can face life. When the burden grows heavy and rough is the way when you falter and slip, and it isn't your way. It isn't your day, and your best doesn't measure to what is required when you know in your heart that you are fast growing tired. With the odds all against you, there's one thing to do, that is, call on your courage and see the thing through. So, the poet tells us that everything will go on. We'll find the way rough, and we find that we are going to slip and fall. Even our life is very short, and we feel like we are getting tired. But all what we have to do is, in those moments, call upon our courage which is sleeping inside, wake it, and then you will see the wonder that is happening in our life. The second stanza, who battles for victory ventures defeat. Misfortune is something we all have to meet. Take the loss with the grace you would take in the gain. When things go against you, don't whine or complain. Just call on your courage and grin if you can. Though you fail to succeed, do not fail as a man. So in the second stanza also says, it's not that always we have the war and we fail. There is victory and ventures. Ventures means it takes on. Sometimes defeat comes on our way. Sometimes victory comes. But we cannot consider it is our misfortune. But all these things we have to face. Failures as well as success we have to face in our life. And when chances are lost, take courage and get another chance. And we will gain it. And when things goes wrong, sometimes when failure comes, it's not that simply sit and cry, and complain, because of this it happened, that it happened. But go against that wish and take courage and go ahead. Just call on you, and that moment call on your courage, and you will find the difference that comes in our life. So I'm not going ahead with the next one. We will do it when the half-yearly exam comes. Before that, if the lessons are going to come, we will deal with it again. Come to the lesson, page 33. We have the true or false. Number 1, courage is required when our path is not smooth. No, it is truth. Courage, when our path is very smooth, we don't even remember that we need the courage. But it is not smooth, we require it. It's true. We always succeed when we do our best. It's not necessary that all the time we have to get a success when we do our best. Sometimes we get failures too. So the statement is false. We know deep within when we are getting weary. When we are getting tired, inside of us we can make out, yes, I am getting tired. It's a true statement. We are advised to gracefully accept both gain and loss. Gaining and losing, both are part of our life. So we have to, the advice is given gracefully, happily we should take both. So the statement is true. To fail or succeed as human beings is not in our hands. It's true. Whether we fail or whether we succeed, it is not in our hands. It is all depend upon the way God has planned for us. So we have this statement as a true. We must take setbacks in our stride, reverses, and walk over. Stride means walking over. The setbacks, what has happened behind, sometimes we have to walk over that and finish off. So the statement is true. So now we have the question answers. We'll quickly go through the question answers so that it will be easy for you to learn in a better way. And see that all the question answers, big or small, please learn it so that even as a short answers, it will be easy for you to learn. So we have the question answers. Number 1, what is the one thing to do when nothing goes right? Answer we have, there are days and times when nothing goes right, and all our sins and all our sincere efforts and thwarted. We might even doubt whether we have made the right efforts, and such defeating moments we should call on our courage and do what has to be done. So one thing that we have to do is when things goes and nothing goes right, call on our courage. That is the only thing we have to remember. Who battles for victory ventures defeat again. Explain. Anyone who wants to fight and win will have to take the risk of losing. In a much deeper sense, it is not winning or losing, it is about the battle. The very act of bracing oneself to fight, good fight, actually knows that he or she is equally prepared to defeat. All one can do is to do one's best in adverse circumstances and wait for the results. Third one, which word meaning cry in a complaining tone occurs twice in the poem? The word whine means to cry in a complaining tone. Number 4, what compensation does a person who fights well receive for pain? The battle we choose to fight, the one that are thrust upon are going to remain the same in spite of our winning and whimpering. A person who fights well may not always succeed, but she or he will certainly be victorious because he or she choose to fight the battle courageously without bothering about lose or gain. Next one. Which line advises us to smile when things go wrong? The following line, just to call on your courage and grin if you can. Advise us to smile when things go wrong. Next one, what according to the poet is a test of one's courage? So all of us have to face happy and trying times. However, the test of one's courage is what one does when setbacks come one's way. Reverses. When we remember the old what has happened. How gracefully we respond in a moment of crisis defines the persons we are. All that matters how we take it in our life when the reverses takes place in our life. Now we have the extracts. Just quickly we go through. There are dark days and stormy which comes to us and all. When about us in ruin, our hopes seems to fall. How does the poet suggest we respond when our hopes seem fall? So we have the first answer. The poet suggests that when our hopes are dashed, we must be brave and face our difficulties. Number 2, B. Pick out another line in poem which states that no human beings can escape suffering. So the following line, we must all drink the bitter as well as the sweet, suggests that no human beings can escape suffering. Explain in your own words what the poet means by dark days or stormy. Dark and stormy days are days when we are faced with the troubles and challenges and there seems to be no light in our lives. The number 2 we have the test of your courage is what do you do in the hour when reverses are coming to you? Question A. Explain in your words in the hour when reverses are coming to you. So this means a time when we are faced with more and more problems and even apparent defeats. So this is a time that we have to use this hour when reverses are coming to you. What has the poet talked about in the previous line? The poet has said that everyone has to face their share of good and bad things and no one can escape those setbacks. And the last question, what does the poet go on to say about reverses soon or after? So the poet says that reverses cannot be avoided by anger or regret. Instead of winning and whimpering, we must boldly face the challenges of life with the composure. So these are the simple exercises given in the question answers and extracts. So please learn it properly so that you can write the test properly. Okay, all the best. Learn it. Take seriously your studies. Wish you all the best. Thank you.